Yo, what is going on YouTube? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing out there today, man? Thank you for tuning in with me today. So today we're going to be checking out some more Jim Croce. Going to be looking at You Don't Mess Around with Jim. All right, now I've heard that this song is a little similar to, the Leroy Brown that we listened to, but this one a little bit different. So we're going to see what the differences are. I really enjoyed the song I checked out with Jim Croce. I've enjoyed all of them so far. Probably still my favorite is Operator. That song is going to be just so hard to top because it just connected with me deeply. I loved the sound of that song, the emotion put into it, but I do enjoy his more fun tunes as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this one and check out this one, You Don't Mess Around with Jim. We've got another live performances. I really have enjoyed checking out the live performance with Jim. So Jim Croce, of course. So I like sitting him there with Murray and them playing out the tunes together. It brings it to light an experience I won't ever be able to have with these gentlemen. And I want to say a couple weeks back, I didn't even know this was happening. I want to say it was Jim's son had come through my town doing covers of his dad's songs. And I wish I would have known that. But I want to say that happened. I want to say it's his son. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Maybe it's nephew. But I'll have to look into that. But yeah, they came through. I didn't even know they were here until a couple of days after they were even gone. I saw that they were here. So that would have been really amazing to check out. But for now, let's go ahead and check this one out. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Let's see what we're getting.
Uptown got its hustlers, Bowery got its bums, 42nd Street got Big Jim Walker, he fool shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim boss, just because. They say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
The things you do not do.
Well, out of South Alabama come a country boy. Instead of looking for a man named Jim, I am a fool shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down at home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop-top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, a hush fell over the pool room as Jimmy come bopping in an awful street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was cutting about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe it sung a different kind of story when the Big Jim hit the floor. They're saying you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim.
He took the crown.
Yeah, Big Jim got his hat. Find out where his hat is not hustling people strange to you, even if you do got a two-piece custom-made pool cue. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, you don't pull the mask off old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim.
Fantastic playing as well, though. Fun story, but man, I was also just tuning in to Murray there at the end. Jeez, he is playing. Of course, you got Jim strumming the chords, but don't miss out on that lead guitar happening as well. That is fine touch of sound right there. You don't mess around with Jim turns into you don't mess around with Slim. He got hustled. He came back to get his revenge, gave the two-piece and more to old Jim, man. Came back. Did he say the only part that was no blood was his shoes? The whole tune changed when Jim hit that floor, man. Boom. This new guy's in town. Came back to get his money, and he might make himself comfortable. You know what I mean? He's the new honcho in town, man. So there you go. The new hoss, the new boss. Um, I like that. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim at the end of that song, man. So let's jump into this one, see when this one was made. Just another shout out to the guitar work as well. That's so good when you start tapping in and listening to that. All right, so we got You Don't Mess Around with Jim right here, released in 1972. Okay, this is folk rock, loving the folk rock vibe. Of course, I think most of the ones I've heard from him is either folk or soft rock, even when they're like funny kind of topics going on here. So really similar to Big Bad Leroy Brown, but also very different. I thought it was fun that these two guys are really big, intimidating, throw their weight around, but they're both kind of dumb in these stories, right? They both don't have much brain cells going on. So I think Jim probably got some inspiration or the vice versa on the stories. So with this one, let's see. It is a story song by Jim Croce, and it says the lyrics set around an underground pool hall on 42nd Street in New York City. Big Jim Walker, a pool hustler who is not too bright but is respected because of his tough reputation, his considerable strength and size, and his skill at pool, has formed a sort of gang of bad folks who regularly gather at night in the pool hall. The reoccurring words of advice is, hey, you don't mess around with this guy, as we said. A fellow pool player named Willie Slim McCoy comes from South Alabama to the pool hall to get his money back from Jim after being hustled out of a previous week. When Jim comes in, McCoy ambushes and kills him, stabbing him in about 100 places and shooting him in a couple more. It's implied that McCoy now has his money back, as well as the respect formerly granted to Jim, and the regulars at the pool hall have now changed their advice to strangers. You don't mess around with Slim. Okay, they definitely made it more gruesome. I heard him talk about cuts and shots, but as they say, they're saying stabbing him in 100 places. And of course, he did shoot him. When I heard shots, I was like, man, this guy, he meant business. I thought we were just going to get some, good old fighting, man. This guy went to town on Jim, but I'm assuming Jim's done a lot worse, right? He's been notorious in this town for being this big bad hustler boss man. I'm sure he's done a lot of bad to maybe deserve what he ended up getting there at the end of the story. This is followed by a repeat of the chorus and repeated coda before the songs fade. Croce tells a similar story, a much feared tough guy who gets his comeuppance from someone even tougher in his later hit single, Bad Bad Leroy Brown. So Jim came first. We got Jim come first. The Bad Leroy Brown came later on that one. All right. It looks like you got a Poison cover. Interesting enough of this song. That is interesting. I really wonder how that one went. But I highly doubt it topped this one. That's what we got right here with Jim Croce. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to check out some of the other reactions. I've got Jim Croce on here. Maybe this might be about the 5th song I've checked out from him, and I'm loving the ride with Jim, man. It's a shame we lost him too soon. Rest in peace, Jim. Rest in peace, Murray. Both amazing to listen to live. Loving it, man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed tuning in with me. Let me know where else to go with Jim, man. Jim Croce. I think I've reached about all the songs that people have brought up on the channel. So if there's more, please remind me where you'd like me to go with this one. Thank you for tuning in here today. If you enjoy, please let me know by liking, subscribing, checking out the descriptions down below. Please consider becoming a member here on my YouTube or Patreon for as little as $3. It's the best way to support me if you're enjoying. All right. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.